Crystal Things, a podcast where we are on some manifest your life, shift your mind, and raise the consciousness type of shit. I am Mia.
Hey, and I am Christie, and you can consider us your spiritual girlfriends for the next hour or so.
We shall see.
Yeah, we shall see. Going with this flow. Okay. So last week we talked about spiritual sovereignty. I hope that was a really good episode for you all. And again, to just recap, basically, spiritual sovereignty just speaks to a person who decides for themselves what is right and what is true in all matters. And this is what we can call spiritual free will. And honestly, I really love this because it reminds us that we are in charge and responsible for our own soul. And we are this allows us to take our power back.
Yes.
So, all right, so Mia, what are we talking about today?
Okay, so here we go, you guys. Today we're talking about spiritual discernment. Okay. So last week it was our spiritual sovereignty, and today we're talking about discernment. Yep. There's a difference. So discernment is having the ability to judge well. Okay. So when we're saying when Christy just was saying with spiritual sovereignty, someone who decides what's right for themselves. But before you have that sovereignty and you're choosing for yourself, you want to have some discernment. Okay. Yes. So spiritual discernment is having the ability to judge well spiritually. Simple, super simple, right? However, in our spiritual walk, you guys, we get excited about stuff and we stop having discernment for ourselves. Yeah. We need to be able to lean on our decision making and our decision making on what's right for us individually, spiritually. Okay? Decision making, our relationships, how we interact with others, what type of energies we are emitting and allowing in our lives. Yep. We need to have that discernment. So how do we sense when something is right for us? So that's what we're talking about today. I know that was a lot, right? I just had something to say.
No, but it's all true. And honestly, like one of the things that I was kind of thinking too, and I think that I might go off track a little bit because I'm already on my second glass of wine. No, maybe this is glass number 3. I don't remember, but
we shall see.
We shall see. But honestly, like I kind of consider our discernment to be like a spiritual thermometer that we need to refer to basically take the temperature for every situation that we find ourselves in. So it's like, okay, someone is not, like, for whatever reason, this person is not vibing right with me. Take a step back, pause, and use that spiritual thermometer and assess what it is that is making you feel uncomfortable. Even if, you might find yourself in spaces or places with people and, something just does not feel right. That is your discernment. I think, but the biggest thing is that a lot of us allow our discernment to be overshadowed by distractions.
Look at my.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into this. Excuse me, you guys. Sorry, I just lost. No, I didn't. I almost lost my my page here. Okay, so. Okay. So I'm going to share this much. I want to just say how we got to this topic.
Without,
getting too deep in. Because I think that will help kind of frame this and where we're coming from. So Christy and I know some very beautiful and powerful
healers,
light workers, some very here in our city, and because you guys, we talk about having a tribe. It helps to strengthen all of us.
Yes, it really does.
and we'll get together for rituals. And as you guys well know, we are not we don't cast spells on people.
We don't.
We're not.
We don't.
We are energy healers.
Yes.
So we do energy healing rituals, and because we're not selfish and we understand that we are here to serve, we do energy healing rituals for the collective.
Yep.
We are always looking for opportunities to, well, I shouldn't say we're looking for, we welcome opportunities to be a part of a collective spiritual energetic cleanse with other healers.
Yep.
So, there's one of our friends, powerful woman, as we were participating in our ceremony, you can be spiritually open, and this is a very smart and person, pretty deep into her journey. At this moment in time, as you are welcoming knowledge, wisdom, downloads, and channeling, she forgot to have discernment from where she was getting information. Now, nothing, major happened, but as we were going through later, we did notice that there was a moment that she was not who she normally is, spiritually. And what she said was, I need to learn how to have more spiritual discernment, because, once you open yourselves, and this happens to us, if I can dial it down, like just, with the lay person, this happens to us when we're on our journey and we're seeking. And so sometimes when we're seeking, we don't have a filter for what's coming in, and we're just like, I want all the information. And we have to be careful and discerning about what we're allowing in our energetic space. So that's what that's how we kind of got to this. So we know that, especially when you're walking the path and you're looking for answers, that we could get to a point where everything new is good.
Right.
And that's not necessarily true.
Right.
Everything new, especially when you're searching, it can be good, but not necessarily good for you.
Especially if there's a certain plan that you need to follow for a particular outcome. So that's that's one of the reasons why this came up, because this person had a focus for this particular event, but got distracted, got basically taken off of her path because of not having the discernment.
Yep.
That can happen, of course, but it's also, many of you are starting your spiritual journeys and you're wanting to connect with your ancestors, wanting to connect with your guides, wanting to connect to your spiritual team, and it's very important for you to be able to discern what energy is coming in, because sometimes you may have some spirits that'll come in trying to pretend to be light energy, and it's really not.
And I mean, and honestly, to my Christian friends out there, you guys, the Bible talks about spiritual discernment quite a bit.
Oh yes, very much.
And so, I mean, like, it's so important, is because when you have discernment, you can kind of see through the roadblocks or the smoke screens that are kind of put in front of you as you are uncovering the truth. That allows you spiritual discernment. So that's what I'm saying. Why it's so important to have this is because, I mean, honestly, it's almost like you put an ad when you're starting this journey and you're in discovery. It's like you put an ad out in the spiritual world, like, I'm open.
Right.
Come
that
talk
Batman
to me,
signal.
Come through me. Right, you didn't put the Batman signal out, and so as people are Brantley.
Sorry, that's my daddy, guys.
We like Brantley.
When our energy increases, his energy increases.
It
I
sure
apologize.
does.
I'm sorry.
I mean, nephew was like a for real. I call my cat River a walking crystal. Brantley is a little crystal too. He definitely feels the energy in the room. So when you're looking for the truth, and you put that bat signal out there, you put out that ad to the spirit world, like, this is what I'm seeking. I'm seeking Mia. I'm seeking me. You're good, you're bad, your side, your ancestral. I mean, there's a lot of things.
You're getting people who are qualified for the job and people who are not.
Pause, you guys. Brantley, you're gonna get in trouble. So, as you are uncovering your truths, know that there are many truths, but you should have the ability to discern for yourself what's right for you at that time. So that's why it's so important to talk about this. Okay.
I agree. So what would you say as far as so if a person is like, okay, so I never really understood about spiritual discernment, but now that you all have explained it, now I understand what spiritual discernment is. How can I be more spiritual discerning? What would you say?
Be present.
Yeah.
I mean, be present in the moment that you are in. Be honest with yourselves, like where you are in that moment. And so the good thing about when you're going through your journey that kind of helps you to have this spiritual discernment is once you feel once you're awakened to being able to feel what your energy feels like, and like really have that, like that I can tell when my energy goes up and down. What happens is, now that you know what it feels like when you are in alignment, when you're like, this is like amazing. It's like a little spiritual orgasm. It's like I'm in alignment. This is something different. So when something is completely out of alignment with you, it feels different. Like you're like, I don't like it.
Yeah.
So by being present, you're able to pick up on that more and be honest with yourself.
I have to agree.
Know?
Yeah.
What do you think?
So yeah, being present, and I agree with that. And meditation has helped me to become more present. But just kind of going off of what you just said, I think it's really important for you to understand your baseline.
Ooh.
And that is like, okay,
that.
so how does my energy, so I am in this space. It can be your room, your bedroom, your bathroom, whatever space it is. How does my energy feel? Just my energy feel in this space. That is your baseline. Once you enter in a space that includes other people's energy, including yours, then you start to understand, like, okay, so I know how my energy feels if I go someplace. But if I'm going out someplace and I'm with other people, something is not right. Something is off. But I really think it's important for you to understand that baseline so you know, like, okay, this is how my energy feels.
Yes.
Because when something feels outside of your energy and you know that it doesn't feel right to you, that's where that discernment is starting to kick in. But I think first, just really get an understanding of how your energy feels in a space first.
I love that. Yeah. Okay, so spiritually, when we're interacting in the spirit world, with the spirit world, when we're interacting with people on
the other
not
side.
Right, thank you. I'm talking about our ethereal friends in spaces. How do you have discernment in that space? You know what I mean?
So actually, I want you to speak to this because I feel like Mia does this a lot better than I do. I'm getting to that point, and I always forget to ask. Okay, who are you? You're good at doing that.
Yes.
Like, okay, who are you?
I'm sorry. What's your name again?
Why are you here? Like, you're really good at asking, and I always forget to ask. Like, I just can't do it. Well, Christy, you forgot to ask. Oh, but, oops, sorry. But I really believe that in dealing with the spiritual realm, it is as simple as asking, who are you? And for me, and it's going to be different for everyone, but for me, I always ask, if you are not here, if you are not filled with 100% light, if you are not filled with 100% love, if you're not here for my highest calling, whatever.
For me, it's even when I'm talking to clients, I always calling and protection for us. But if I'm opening myself up to be an open channel for message, you have to be careful. So what I say is, so because there's a difference between discernment and judgment, right? And I don't want to be spiritually judging where I'm cutting off messages for people. So what I tell them is, if you are not here for their highest good. Yep. So sometimes your highest good does include lessons. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? So that may include lessons. So it may not be all rainbows and sunshine that you get because it's for your highest good. So I invite in for the highest good. So anything that's not for, like, you just can't, like, I call it the cipher. I'm like, you can't come to our cipher because, we getting lifted up in here. No puff pass to you. So that's how I, how I see it. But I will say, one good thing is to understand how energy, so like you were saying, if you know your baseline, you know when something feels off. So if you are working in the spiritual world, communicating in that different type of realm, you need to understand your baseline there as well. Right. Yep. So the one reason that I'm much more comfortable sometimes dealing in the spiritual world is because there is no mask there. There is like,
and they gotta be honest too.
Thank you. Like, know exactly if you want, if you look and allow your, and when I say look, I'm really talking about third eye look, like feeling. But in that world, it's all about feeling. Mm-hmm. And so you feel with every spirit truthfully. There is no hiding. There is no masking there. So as soon as you feel something, it's like something feels off. I need to ask a question. I'm not comfortable. Yeah. It's for a reason. You know what I mean? It's not like you don't talk yourself down like, oh, I'm tripping. It's like, this world is all about feeling. All about. So you know what I mean? Like, it's less. It's honestly, it's less talking to me and more of feeling. It's more of I'm feeling what it is. So that's why, sometimes I get emotional. Sometimes when I'm with clients because it's not like they're just telling me and showing me. It's like I am literally feeling it, and it's like, oh my goodness, I know. Like, so I'll be like, I know what that felt like. I mean, I'm like, I really mean that because I'm feeling it right now. It's like my heart will ache, and so that's how you move through that world. So, but you have to be, it's so important to have that discernment because as you feel, you're receiving that energy, and there's a piece of that stays with you. And so if you're allowing any and everything to touch you in that sacred space of who you are, you got to be really careful with that. Like, super careful. And sometimes, oh my God, I heard this saying today. What is it? The opposite of right is not bad. The opposite of right is good. If I can make something so good for you that it will convince you not to do what's right, that's manipulation. So if I can say, but look what we're doing, we're so good, but you're not doing what's right. Right. Look, so I think spiritually you want to be right. We aim to be right with spirit. But sometimes when we're seeking and someone is giving us information and feeding us, and this is, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It feels so good that we're not having the discernment to know what's right for us. That part, y'all.
I have to agree. And that's actually what happened. I mean? That's what happened in the situation.
Exactly.
She kind of got, I don't want to say carried away, but essentially, she did get carried away and was just in the moment. Mm-hmm.
Because it felt good.
Yeah, it did feel good. Excuse me if I just burped into the microphone. I've been letting all kinds of air out today.
Wait,
My bad.
Where's the bottle?
It's over here.
Okay. I got it.
But also, I think another way to discern is just like Mia just said, everything is about feeling. So what is your gut telling you? What does your stomach? Because some people feel things in different places. Some people will feel something in their heart. Some people will feel something in their stomach. You know, some people will just, you know, feel different. So, but for me, it's my heart and my gut. And I think another way to discern is just noticing anything out of the ordinary, like chills. If you have hair standing up on your arms, Oof. Your heart is racing, palms are sweaty. That's something that's out of the ordinary. So if you're feeling this when a certain energy comes into your place or you're around someone, that's when you want to not ignore it and starting to think like, okay.
And I'm gonna tell you something. It's so interesting because when I think about how it is that we move through the spiritual world versus how we move through this earthly realm. In the earthly realm, it's all about not showing feelings, not showing someone your weakness. You know what I mean? There's always this cover, this protection mode. And in spiritually, this is why sometimes I think it's one of the challenges of us learning how to deal with the spiritual world is we forgot how to feel.
Yep.
We don't know how to allow ourselves to be emotionally vulnerable to actually feel. And that's why, sidebar.
It's intentional too.
Oh, thank you. I was about to say sidebar. And that's and also you guys think of, and that's another thing why I feel like more and more as our society grows and technology grows and the opportunities or wish to control people's minds and actions.
Metaverse.
Baby! Okay, wait, hold on. I almost choked. Baby. Okay, seriously. It becomes more visual. And so sometimes this is where our eyes can be trash, you guys. So everything is visual. So so think about it. If I read a book, right? Mm-hmm. I have to create the visual image in my head. Use my imagination. Pull from different research. You know what I mean? And I have my own vision of what that looks like. But if everything is shown to me, you're showing me how to feel. You're showing me that at this moment I cry. You're showing me, you're telling me everything that I'm supposed. I feel like, think about it, all these engagement commercials. That was funny. Christy over here opening a wine bottle. We're having a Malbec. This young evening. Yeah,
we both bought the same bottle.
Alamo Smallback. It's quite lovely.
You guys, I'm a red wine. I love red wine.
Quite lovely. I need to get some white strips. I feel like my teeth with the wine.
You need to get some white strips.
Yeah,
your teeth are like the whitest teeth.
After I drink red wine, I feel like they're like, I want to. But anyway, okay, sorry.
Her teeth are super white. Her teeth match her little striped shirt. Look, my little white tank is dingy. My teeth match.
Help.
I drink coffee. I drink wine. I shouldn't be looking at my teeth anyway. Let me stop. I'm joking. Maybe not, but go ahead.
We'll never know. So yeah, I was trying to come what I was saying.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I forgot. But that was
hilarious. So we talked about, I said metaverse, and you were just talking about.
So if I show you how you should feel instead of allowing you the space to feel, that is so much mind control. When you can control how somebody feels to a certain stimuli instead of allowing them to decide and discern for themselves, that is unbelievable mind control.
Yep.
So we're already going from, social media where, and there's so many good things about the advancements. As soon as I heard about metaverse, Christy, honestly, my brain, like, I literally felt like I split. Like my head literally split down the middle. Because there was one side of me that was like, this is so beautiful. Do you know what we could do with this? And I was thinking about how to reach people on a spiritual, like, and have them be able to put them in this space to help create an experience spiritually with people all over the world. I thought about that first, so I got so excited. And the other side of my brain was like, ooh, bitch, they got you motherfuckers now. Like, I was like, it's over. I was like, when I say the Matrix just plugged in, my brain was like, ooh, oh my goodness, this is bad. Like, but I mean, and I genuinely felt both of those. And I started getting nervous, like, man, I don't want to be in a world where I'm not able to have spiritual discernment, where I'm not able to have emotional discernment.
Yep, exactly.
I don't want that. Okay, sorry.
No, it's good. No, I think that was necessary to hear too, because all this stuff is relevant if you think about it.
Yeah.
But also the Bible says this, testing the spirit.
Yes.
Test the spirit so you understand the fruit of the spirit. And so if an entity comes into your space, I shouldn't have done that. Come here. So if an entity come here. So if an entity comes into your space, and you want to have an understanding of where it is, like where it's coming from or what kind of energy it's carrying with it, you can ask it. I mean, we said that earlier.
Yeah.
And like I forgot what I was told, but you can ask, and they have 3 times, because I guess like spirits can't lie. They have to be.
And I mean, but and honestly, spiritually, it's not almost that they can't lie, but it's like they're not able. Not that they're not able to. It's like you see it. They may say something, but it's like if you're feeling it, like I know immediately who you are. Just imagine literally walking around the world. You go downstairs, Christy. You go to the bodega at the bottom of your building, and you walk in, and you can immediately feel who the man is. I can feel him. I know his concerns. I know what he thinks about me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know his motivations. I know what he's challenged with. I can see that the man has a heart problem. Like, you could literally feel that without saying it. So imagine if we're walking through this world with the type of people, these crazy people, and you're able to literally feel that person. That's what happens with a lot of empaths. So we do have to learn, and I'm an empath, so you have to learn how to turn that off. But in spirit world, you can't turn it off, because that's how you communicate.
Exactly.
So you know what I mean? Like it's like I feel like it's like, spiritually, it's like you connect, and then it's like you show me everything, but I have to be able to feel it.
Yeah.
And so
So how did you learn how to discern?
Real talk. In the 3D world, I am a naturally paranoid person and think people are bullshit anyway, so I'm always asking questions.
Who are you?
And you are. Hi.
Who sent you?
How do you know me?
Right.
No. But I think so much of my journey, movement or advancement, air quote, would be, I would have to say, it's because of my curiosity. Mm-hmm. Like I'm like, something can set off something in my head, and I want to know.
She is the queen of random information.
Man, seriously,
but
like
good random information. The most random. But good random stuff.
But I like to learn. So spiritually, for me, as I was going through this process, one of the things that I learned early in the process that helped me, I think, was I learned how to be okay with feeling. So what's so interesting is, like, you guys know I'm a Cancer. So all my life, I was like, oh, you're sensitive, you're emotional, Cancer, you're emotional. But the real thing is, Cancers are probably the most emotional sign, I think, because we're able to process our emotions. You guys aren't used to processing your emotions. We process our emotions outwardly, and so I think as a Cancer, for me, going through this, I was always, I've been walking through the earth feeling. So when I got to that space, but when you feeling in this 3D world, I've had some painful moments.
Yeah.
But
Me too.
so it was easy for me to feel in the spiritual world, because it's like that's home to me. That's natural to me to experience the world in that way. So I was, and because I felt safe, like I know I'm in a place where the truth is the truth, and what I'm seeing is what I see, and what I'm feeling is what I'm feeling. But as soon as it felt different, I knew.
Right.
Because I was used to feeling like just
So you already knew your baseline.
Right. But spiritually, I knew what I was feeling. But what happened, what was different is I trusted what I felt.
Got it. Yeah.
Whereas in this world, I'm always feeling, and that's how I experience the world. It's feelings first. It's feeling, then I'm thinking about it. Then I'm analyzing. But I feel it first. So what happened is I just didn't trust what I was feeling, because it would be different from what I was being shown and shared and programmed to think what I was supposed to think and believe it. So if I believe something or if I felt something that was not what society says I'm supposed to feel, then of course I'm going to doubt what I'm feeling.
Yep.
I'm messing up. I don't know. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? Where's that coming from?
Help.
This is what we're supposed to be
Right.
feeling. And so I was able to do that too. So that's the bad side of that. When you're able to manage your emotions and feel what you feel, you also have control over changing them and making you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's a double-edged sword for me. But now in this space, now I'm like, what I feel is what I feel. And it's never betrayed me, because now I can move from that place. Anytime I make a decision that is not in alignment with the way that I truly feel in a situation, I fuck up. Definitely. Sometimes it's a little fuck up, and sometimes it's a big fuck up.
So it's interesting that you said that, because for me, I've always been able to discern by seeing. Not with my physical eyes, but with my third eye. Because I've always been able to see spirits. Like I could see it. I can tell you what they're wearing. I could describe the person. But now I'm just coming into my feelings. But something that I wanted to share, we had this shared experience too at one point. And this happened to me when I was actually in the church, when I was a Christian. And that is when I had encounters.
Well, I feel like you just cursed. I'm Christian.
Well, no, I mean, when I was a Christian, that is when I had my experience with lower vibrational energies in the church. In the church. So there's one church that I was attending when I was living in New York. I was on the dance ministry team, and the pastor knew that all of us were gifted, like, spiritually. So he had us all in this dance ministry, and we were, so there was 2 occasions. One occasion we were praying around the pulpit before we started rehearsal, and a dark energy was in the church.
You y'all don't see that? Yeah, so
the thing is, at that point I felt it. That was something, I did not see it. Although I could see it, it's kind of hard to explain. I could see it, but I felt it before I could see it.
You saw it, but you felt that it wasn't.
It was like it was heavy. Like I've never felt that before. That was an energy I've never felt. And then the girl next to me, who was younger, she smelled, like she could smell it. Like it smelled.
Man, we are some dope. Man, do you realize how dope as a people we?
Right.
Like all of us have so much. Okay, I'm sorry.
So after we all had this experience with this entity and we agreed that it needed to leave. We did what we needed to do. That was the one occasion. The second occasion was when this stranger, I think she was homeless. She was in the shelter, came in looking for someone that was on our dance ministry team. And she was in the pastor's office, and he called us up because I guess he was going to start praying on her. He called us up into the office, and we all gather around, and he starts praying on her, and all of a sudden, I just remember this wind came into the room, and it was like a tornado. It flew us across the, I flew onto the back of the wall. People, papers were scattered all over the place. We all fell down. The woman that came in that was asking for help or that, prayer, whatever she came in with was coming out of her. Again, this is in the church. So
wait.
Mia's over here.
You don't see my face. I'm literally standing her, my mouth open.
Mia's over here.
Mid sushi piece in my mouth, what?
She has a chopsticks, and she's like, wait, what? So that was early on. That was my first experience dealing with lower, darker entities, and really feeling it and sensing it and knowing that it was beyond. It was not the type of energy or the spirit that I want to carry.
Right.
And I'd say a more recent time was last year when we went to the...
Yeah. Lord, y'all.
Yeah.
Look, I would say that it's so important to trust what you feel. Because I'm telling you, sometimes the feeling of that power... So think about this. There's somebody who might have had that experience with you when you were in the church, or who would say the glory of God came down. Depending on what, do you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So think about it. If someone else had that experience, right, and they believe that I am in a church. So if I experience anything spiritually, it's of God. I'm here with this. Do you know what I mean? They would believe that all is good.
It could have been the glory of God. I don't know what it was.
I'm not saying.
Yeah.
But this happened. Now, they might feel a little uneasy, but they're going to say, this is the glory, because that helps them to move forward and feel better, right? Mm-hmm. And they will move forward with that story, and they will argue you down right now and say, how dare you? I saw it. Do you understand what I'm saying? But when you have spiritual discernment, it does not matter what everybody else is saying or what it is that they're believing, because that is not you. You have to have the discernment for what I felt in that moment was not something that I want to carry with me. And if you deny yourself, that it's a betrayal of self.
Right. Mm-hmm. I agree.
So, and that's another reason it's so important. Oftentimes when we start this journey, you guys, we start discovering how we've kind of betrayed ourselves a little bit along the way. We kind of played ourselves. So you don't want to have that type of epiphany about what you've done in your past and then bring that to how it is that don't play yourself. Yeah. Trust yourself.
Yep. And I will say, because of those experiences, that has helped me that reminds me to protect my space at all times.
Oh, yes.
Anytime I'm working with clients, anytime I'm about to meditate, anytime I need to open up space, close space, whatever it is, I make sure that I keep it protected. The only energy that's able to come through is those type of energies or beings that are filled with 100% light and love. That is it. If you are not for my highest good or for higher blessing for all, whatever the case may be, you cannot come in. And it's just that straightforward. And you can you can communicate to spirits like that.
Absolutely.
You have to go. It is not, I'm sorry, but can you please leave? Excuse me. No, you gotta go.
You were not invited. You know what's so interesting, because I think about in pop culture, in our movies and things, that there are certain things that they show in movies that I think are true spiritually. For instance, they always talk about, and you see it in movies. Oh my God, what was that TV show? Suki. Oh man,
Suki.
dragons, blood, vampires. Okay, y'all gonna know what this is because somebody knows what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
I know. True Blood. It was a show called
True Blood. Okay.
I
never saw it.
And so in True Blood, the vampires could not enter. They couldn't cross the threshold of a home or a doorway
without
being
permission.
inviting in. And so
That's
that
true.
vampire could be in there strong as hell, about to whoop your ass in your house. If you say get out, they immediately, like their body, like they can't stay, right? And so just think about how powerful that is. You're like, damn, the Dracula was about to kill her, but she told it to leave. When I tell you that's exactly how it works spiritually.
Exactly. It's that simple.
It's literally that.
It's
get
that
out.
simple.
Like, period. And so
not
and it's like they show us. And so it's so many things now with a different level of awareness, the TV shows, movies that I see now. I'm like, yo, let me tell you.
I'm telling you, there's so much truth,
dude,
in what is being shown.
Archangel Gabriel been busy out here. When I tell you he is writing these scripts, I'm like, he is trying, like, woof. I'm like, for real. I mean, what was that? Oh, I just saw the movie, new Marvel movie called, crap. It's the new Marvel movie.
Oh, is it the,
Eternals.
Eternals.
Yes. So I picked up Jay
from
that
wasn't
school
good.
Yesterday or day before, 2 days ago.
Was it good? I heard it wasn't good.
What? Oh, no. Okay.
Jason said it wasn't. He said it was bad.
I'm going to tell you why. Because Jason is watching and looking at this from like a Marvel's fan view. You're going to look at this from a spiritual view. When I say you're going to be like, oh my God.
Isn't that interesting?
Oh
Perspective.
What? Christy, go see. You got to watch it. Oh my goodness.
That is so funny.
I swear, because I picked up, and oh my, it was so good. And I'm a little bit of a Marvel's fan too. You know what I mean? I'm not a fanatic, but I'm definitely a fan. And from a fan perspective, I liked it. I really did.
Why?
Okay, first of all, I think that the Marvel world, it's almost like when they finally put everything together, they make you feel like it makes you feel like they are using their whole I am spirit, because everything connects and it makes sense. I love it because the Eternals are the epitome. Oh my God, this is so crazy how we're talking about this, because we're talking about discernment. Because one of the lessons, so spoiler alert, okay? But for that,
if you haven't seen this movie, just fast forward.
Fast forward, okay?
10 minutes or so. Or 5 minutes.
So this is why I love it, because it's so perfect for spiritual discernment. The Eternals, their entire life, and they've been living here on Earth for 7,000 years. They thought they were helping the light God. They were doing what was right, and they were here to, they came from this planet Olympia, and they were the good guys. Then they found out that all this time they're the bad guys.
Ooh.
Fucked them up. So when we're talking about spiritual discernment, it's like,
yeah, you gotta
have that spiritual discernment.
You gotta
and
know which side
find
you're
out
fighting
that one
for.
of them found out and had some level of discernment, but it's like, something ain't right. I don't know what it is, but I don't feel. But when she went forward to the entity that they're working with, and kind of like, you know what, I saw this, and it's like, oh, don't do that. You're not. Anytime, and think about this even from a religious standpoint, any practice that you're doing, when you're not allowed to question.
Well, and yeah, that reminds
me. Red
of
flag.
That reminds me of something that you said too, because remember, you had an experience and you were having a communication with the spirit, and you were asking questions, and it was like, oh, but you know, it's okay. Like,
yeah,
kind of distracting, like, or glossing over. It's like,
no, answer my question.
Right.
You know what I mean? And this and I'll tell you this. Anytime you ask, you are asking for clarity of the intention of any energy that's around you, and I mean this spiritually and physically. I'm talking about the human people, and you're asking about the intention of someone's heart, and if they can't answer the question, they try to gloss over it. That's your fucking answer, because true pure spirit doesn't have any reason to not show who they are and what they're here for. Yep. I want you to know. Thank you for asking me. Let me tell you what I'm here for. I'm here to love you.
Right.
I'm here to awaken you. I'm here to do. You know what I mean? Yes. Thank you. But if I'm on some bullshit and I'm trying to ride in with the wave of spiritual enlightenment on you, it's like, oh yeah, I'm with the band. Like you you see somebody in the back with a random drumstick and a guitar. Like I'm with the like no.
I don't think so.
No. Why are you letting in your spiritual back door?
No, and you are so right, which is why I am very, very, very particular. Like, I have crystals around my house, above my doorways, just to be sure I'm always cleansing my house. Always. Oh. And I think
you're talking to the right one. Baby, when I say, the four corners of but the energy feels different in my place. I'm telling you. You cross the threshold of my house, I have that place covered with the intention of how I want the energy that I want in my home. Period.
Point blank.
Like period. Like period. Like, and you can set, and I'll say this, you can set intentions in your home. You can literally, just how you know how you set intentions for your growth, you know what I mean?
For your life, yeah.
You can do that for the energy of your home. Like, and literally say, any energy that enters this home, again, your energies come in a plant, they can come in a visitor, a person, they can come in literally, energetically, or spiritually. You can make an intention to protect your home and say every spirit that walks through this door must present itself to me truthfully.
I like that.
So when I tell you there's nothing that walks in my door that I don't know, like, hey, I see, like,
who are you?
You're gonna feel very uncomfortable. If you're on some bullshit, you're gonna feel very uncomfortable walking by. Like, damn, is it?
No, the energy in your home is very nice. It's very welcoming.
Right, but it is welcoming for the right energy. But if I'm telling you,
if you're on some
if you're on some bullshit, you're gonna feel uncomfortable in my place, because this is if you're trying to cover who you are, and not, you're going to feel uncomfortable in my place, because this is a place of openness. Mm-hmm. So do you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna feel like where's the bathroom?
Can you open up some windows?
Right. Oof. I cannot with you. I cannot with you. Okay, sorry. Oh, you know what? I have a question for the queen too. Don't make me forget.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, I did see that communication that came through. That was so nice. I mean, that was good.
Oh.
We get you all's DMs. I mean, sometimes I'm not the best at answering them, but Mia is.
But Christie's good with the posts, y'all. I'm terrible. I like talking, so I'm like, yes, let's talk.
But no, we hear you all's. Mm-hmm. We hear your hearts. We hear your needs.
Yeah. And I love, honestly, okay, yeah, I get emotional. To me, doing this podcast is a part of what I call my spiritual alchemy. Being able to experience all that I've experienced in my life, the growth. And I mean, like, and I'm not, like, when I say, like, I've experienced life.
Yes.
Like, all out. I mean, from the ceiling to the from the windows to the walls to the sweat drop down. I have experienced life and being able to have this type of awakening and growth over the years, to see the growth. Like, there's some wisdom that comes behind this. It's not knowledge. I haven't just went and read a couple of books and I'm trying to reiterate. No, this is, so I feel like I'm taking those lessons of what our challenges and that pain, and I'm turning it into purpose. Mm-hmm. So so when you say, like, you know, we get the DMs and we know and we feel, it's like, no, like, for real.
No, it's big.
There is, and I'm, you know, and I know we both just feel like to get to this place where we are, and it's so exciting to know that there's still so much to learn and grow and change. And lucky for y'all, like, we're not like, you know how somebody learns a secret recipe to the best cookies on earth. They're like, I'm not telling.
It'll be $100 for the recipe.
We telling. Hey, is this thing on? Come on, let's do it. Like, we're telling.
We are.
Because it's such a beautiful space, and then, like I said, and I really do feel like if you truly are awakening to who you are spiritually, you are also awakening to who everybody else is in their divinity. And it's like, there's no way you can get to this space and not want everybody else to be here too. Like, y'all, it's a party. Like, it's dope. Everybody can feast. There is no lack here. Do you know what I mean? Like, what? What are we talking about? I want everybody to be there. This is a good time.
Yeah, and honestly, I really do think it's important to share. I think sometimes, and the funny thing is, I've always been a very open book. I've always been very open about what I've gone through, because I always felt like,
not me.
If I'm able to help someone, like, even if it's just one person, then I feel like I was able to assist in someone not making the same mistakes, or, you know, not having the same discernment that I should have had, just by sharing. So I've always felt it important to do that.
That's beautiful. I love that about you.
But that's one of the things.
But I wanted to help. I just didn't want to share. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm one of those people come up to and they say everything. They just say everything, and I always want to help. And I used to think to myself, if I die right now, this would literally be a thought. If I die right now and everybody gathered at my funeral, everybody would know a different Mia.
You did mention
because
that.
I was what I perceived, you know, my narcissistic ass jumping in everybody's head, right? What I perceived they wanted me to be. So, in the space that, you know, that I'm in now, that I've been in for a while, it's just.
But I don't think that's narcissistic, though. I think it's, honestly, I've this is my opinion, because I lived my life based on what I expected other people thought I should live my life.
But see, the reason I'm saying it was narcissistic is because this was not something that was spoken to me. This is me making an assessment of, oh, Christy wants me to be like this. This is the type of friend she wants me to be. Or this will make her happy. So when I'm with her, I'm going to be like this. Did you say to me, Mia, this is what I want? You know what I mean?
But I don't think that's not narcissistic. That's a people pleaser.
Well, we need to stop that, because that's some bullshit.
Look, I've been there too. I feel
bullshit.
like narcissists are, one, very toxic, and then two, the entire story revolves around them at all times, and that's not you.
Okay,
that's not you.
I definitely don't. I really.
You just wanted to make people happy.
Yes,
you wanted people to be happy
myself.
Right. And I'm at that point. Like, I just got to that point too.
So when you start having depression, just like, and that's why I remember having a whole scenario in my head. Everyone knows me in so many different levels, and I was that for them, where I never exposed my full self to anybody. They'd be like, "Wait, what? For real? Like seriously?"
But what were you for you?
No, it depended on. I was like I call it a rootless tree, just swaying. I didn't have the sense of self, the vocabulary, the comprehension to know that I wasn't anything to myself. I literally, that wouldn't have even been a conversation that I had the awareness to have with my. Do you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't even. That wasn't there.
That's growth.
That's growth. But girl, it's rough. That's
and it's real rough. Too, because we've all been there. I know I have. Like I share this often.
But now y'all getting the raw. I am who I am. A bitch be who she be. Come high, come low. Cause I ain't faking no more.
Come high, come drunk. Let me stop.
No, for real. So I think it's a beautiful thing to be able, and that's why I'm like, and that's why I feel like, not to say that someone isn't truly spiritual, but I do feel like when you're truly pure in your spirit, and you get to this point where you're just like, do you know how beautiful it is to feel comfortable and validated just in myself to be who I am at all times?
It feels good.
Amazing.
Right.
And when you feel that,
and you still feel accepted,
right? And like it's just okay with me. Like I'm okay with me, and you want everybody to feel that. Like you really want everybody to feel like that's like, yo, this is dope.
But if you're not okay with me,
because you know that, like, once you know what that feels like, there's no limit to this. Everybody can do this. This isn't secret.
Right.
This is not secrets of the universe. You got it. Like, no, motherfucker, this shit is free. Mm-hmm. Come get some.
Free 99.
Free 99. Come get some.
Right, come get some of that.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I just reconnected with my best friend in high school. And, we were kind of just like touching base about where you are. Like, where am I? Where are you? And so I told him, I said, yeah, I just came out the closet. Like, I officially am me. I feel like I'm just living my true, authentic self. He was like, oh, man. So no more stars and moon talk? I was like, wait. The fact that he said, I was like, wait, so I've always been like that? I'm like, no, I'm coming up.
Wait, he thought you were coming out. Like, did you?
He thought that I was like not doing that.
Oh, you're like, no.
I'm actually coming back to that.
You're no. Wait, you're like, oh, I've been that?
Because I forgot. Like, I was pretending to be something else or someone else for so long that I was like, wait, I really was like that?
Yeah. Isn't that a trip? That's a trip because and I always find it interesting because when you discover that someone sees you differently than you see yourself, you're like, oh, wait a minute. Friends are good for that. They can be good mirrors.
So it was good to connect with him.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's do it to it.
So what's your takeaway?
They don't be out here spiritually slutty.
Right. Don't be out there just raw.
Don't be a spiritual slut.
Don't be a spiritual hoe.
Protect yourself. Get these. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm a choke.
Oh my God.
You better protect yourself out in these spiritual streets.
You better get you a spiritual Jimmy.
Right. You don't want to be getting these STDs.
Oh, shit. Seriously.
The spiritually transmitted demons.
Oh my God, I'm about to be on myself. Shit. Oh my God. Oh, shit. Ooh. Oh, Lord Jesus.
Yeah, that went a quick right. That took a quick right.
To the left.
Right.
To the left. To the right. To the right.
Ooh, my stomach hurts.
Good, I needed that workout.
Right. No, honestly, so my takeaway is the same. You have to, for real, you have to be careful. And a lot of people kind of gloss over the spiritual realm, like it's not really that important as the physical realm, but it really is. So you want to, like, I believe that what happens in the spiritual realm will then eventually manifest in the physical realm. So you want to be protected on all sides. So just like, you get in a car and you put your seatbelt on, even though you don't anticipate getting into an accident, you want to make sure that wherever you are, or you're practicing, energy work or whatever, protect yourself.
Facts. Because, that's what I think happened during Virtue.
I remember you mentioned that. And I'm telling you, this stuff is real. Like, the stuff that you will see, like the stuff, and my eyes about to start watering. The stuff.
Here she goes. That's one of her signs, by the way, y'all. That's one of her signals.
The stuff that we had, I mean, just from me and I being together, the stuff that we have seen.
Ooh, Charlie.
I mean, any regular person would have been like, oh, I did not sign up for this.
That's not, this is not
my ministry.
I don't know what y'all got going on over there. This is not me.
Yeah.
God bless your ministry, sis. Y'all have a good night.
Right. It is real.
It's very real.
It is very real. So you want to make sure that you move with wisdom and protect your space, protect yourself.
So, okay, so I would say this, and one thing I do want to remind you guys, the beautiful thing about this, because it can seem scary to be open and experience the spiritual world for yourself, because that might fuck you up, but I'm going to tell you why not to be afraid, because when you learn from this, the big takeaway is you finally realize, like, wait a minute, I truly do have control over what I can do in this space, in this time, and in this world. Like, for real. And that's a different level of freedom to feel within yourself. Like, wait a minute, hold on. Like, no, I for real can. Mm-hmm. And so, while it may seem scary to be exposed or to experience something that you've been told and taught was either not real or like the boogeyman or something, you know what I mean, that only special people experience, that can be a little scary. But I'm telling you, the freedom and knowing, like, oh, y'all, I swear, maybe because, sorry, my ignorance, you guys, but I just remember one of my first thoughts was, oh, y'all done fucked up now. wait a minute. So you trying to tell me all this time, just all up in here, just waiting, just what? Is fabulous. It's fucking fabulous. I'm talking about some self-love. Ooh, it grows. Like, as you get to know yourself, the pursuit of yourself is what's better? Mm-hmm. So, all right. So, Christy, what's up, Crystal, on the way? Or should I do the questions for the queens? The questions is going to be the message.
So we can do the message after because the crystal for the week is quick. So I'll do the crystal. All right. This week's featured crystal is white sapphire.
Wow.
Element is wind, and it is helpful in balancing the third eye and the crown chakra. So white sapphire opens to the power of the mind and strengthens the conduit of communication with spirit. The conduit. Mm-hmm. It is a stone that helps one combine spiritual insight with earthly tasks or dilemmas, helping one to bring a higher perspective to bear when faced with difficult decisions. White sapphire also helps to bring clarity of thought and mind and helps one to find their inner resolve needed to overcome obstacles to one's spiritual path. And it assists in connecting with the higher self level of consciousness in order to receive visions or information to guide one in one's highest path. And then lastly, it aids in achieving and maintaining one's connection to the higher self level and consciousness, which I already said. But it's a really great crystal Think about white sapphire, think about awareness, think about clarity, and think about discernment. So this is like a really good crystal to carry with you if it's something that you are really wanting to tap into. Have you worked with white sapphire before?
No, but I have not. What I know about white sapphire though.
What do you know about it? What you know?
Well, a lot of like, this is gonna sound messed up.
What you know about
y'all know I love jewelry. A lot of women walking around thinking they have diamonds on their hands.
No, it's white sapphire.
It's got white sapphires on their hands.
Sorry, boo-boo.
Sorry. Yes, but
the last week we talked about diamonds, so you guys,
right.
Diamond has some good energetic
seriously.
stuff.
But I love all the different type of stones, and one of the good things, and I only know this from a jewelry perspective. One things I like about the white sapphire is that the way they cut, like it's super sparkly in jewelry. But I have not worked. See,
only Mia would know that because I'm like, Mia's the fancy one. I am not.
I mean, it's like I honestly. It's a beautiful stone to work with to have if you want that diamond type of look, but I don't have I've actually never worked with it energetically. No,
I haven't either. So that's something that we'll see if I'm called to work with it. But maybe one of you guys are called to work with it.
Yes.
So
awesome. Okay, so
message for the day.
It's going to actually be our questions for the queens.
Questions for the queens.
Okay.
Questions for the queens.
Okay, here we go.
Questions for the queens.
We had this young lady, beautiful woman. I'm saying young because we all young. We fine.
Yes. Hello, fine like wine.
She reached out, and this was her message. She said, "Queens, please help. I've been listening to your episodes about relationships. When enough is enough." That was one of the episodes we did in our first season. Okay. Being the main fucking character, all that. And I know in my right mind I need to leave my ex. He slept with someone 2 days after we broke up. And now I'm trying to get past it and make this work, even though I know how toxic he really is. He says things to gaslight and manipulate so much it's gotten to the point where I question if I'm crazy. Okay? Ooh, girl. Triggered. I'm triggered.
Me too.
Then she goes on to say, I really start to believe I'm one of those crazy, controlling girls now, and that isn't who I am, but he's made me question everything, and I just don't know how to leave him for good. It's like I don't have the strength. Woo, child. Let me tell you.
Can I say something?
Yes. I got violent as soon as I read it. I'm like, I immediately just want to
You were probably like punching the air.
I mean, I was so upset.
So this reminds me, this gives me first ex-husband energy. Mm-hmm. Like all the way around. Because I remember, and oh my gosh, y'all, my people, my intuition, they has been telling me for a long time. And I, would ignore it. So there was one time I was cleaning. Going through his clothes. Well, I was cleaning up and picking up his clothes. He wasn't there. And he would leave change in his pocket. So whenever I would pick up his pants, I would go through the pockets, make sure there wasn't change, put on the dresser. Well, I went through his pants pocket this particular day.
Oh, gee, I'm scared. Please,
and he had a doctor's note in his pocket. Basically, he went to the doctor.
I can't breathe.
And he had an STD.
I can't breathe right now.
I found this doctor's, it was like a prescription for whatever medication he needed. And I confronted him about it, and he gaslighted me. I mean, now there's a term for it, because back then I was like...
You made me feel like I was fucking crazy.
Right, like I thought that I was crazy. And I really thought...
what did he say?
He told me that, so in between my son and my daughter, I miscarried. And I miscarried due to stress. But he basically told me after I miscarried, he didn't feel right. So he went to the doctor because, he just wanted to make sure he was good.
Did the doctor give you the STD, motherfucker?
Right, but I was so, the entire relationship was him gaslighting me. I mean, now there's a term for it, so now it's good. But like the night that he broke into my house and he separated my shoulder and he drove an hour from where he was living to where I was to come and get me, got put in jail, and his parents bailed him out, and his parents called and asked if he can come see the kids because he missed out on seeing the kids because he was in jail, because I put him in jail.
Wait, they actually said because you put him in jail?
They said that he missed out on time with his kids. And at first I said, yes, he can come by and see the kids. But then I thought about it, because again, my thinking was just so warped. Anyway.
You mean when you put yourself in jail? That's how my mom used to tell me. I didn't punish you, you punished yourself.
Right. So I've been there, and I will be honest, it took me 2 years to leave. I wanted to leave, and it took me some time to get the courage. It took me some time to develop the faith. It took time, because if you think about it, you've been in this relationship for a certain amount of time. So the amount of time that it took you to get to that point of knowing that you need to leave is going to take you some time to get to the point where you actually make the move to leave.
Even when you know in every fiber
Girl,
of your
I knew.
being.
I talked to some of his little girlfriends driving around in my car.
I'm not supposed to be here, but sometimes it takes a little minute to get that emotional strength.
But I think it also gets to the point where you get tired enough of dealing with that bullshit. Because I got to a point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I used to have panic attacks. I used to have anxiety when he would just disappear. And I got to a point where I was like, I can't do this anymore.
I was tired, boss.
I was tired. But then also that ties in, and even though I didn't necessarily understand or know my worth at that point in time, I knew that this was not what God had for me, or Spirit had for me, or what the universe had for me. Because I was like, why am I dealing with this? I don't understand.
And so in essence, that's what we said to this young lady. Being gaslighted. It's like, you know exactly who this person is. Because once you get to this point, you know who they are. They know who they are. Because they've shown you over and over again who they are by what they're saying to you and what their actions are. Them shits don't align. And it's just, and it never does. And it never does. So the real question, when we are, and so I'm so glad you said this. She's so crazy. Christy, I'm so glad that you said that, we just don't know what it is that we're working through sometimes. Because the real issue is we can't leave because sometimes we just don't have the strength and we don't know who we really are.
Right.
We legitimately don't have any idea who we are. And so the real question is not why are they doing this to me? What did I do to deserve this? Why is this happening to me? It's, hold on, what's going on with me that I believe that this is all I deserve?
Or that I believe that it's okay.
That this is okay. You know what I mean? Like, that's the real question. Because they're going to do what they're going to do.
Girl, he had sex with a stripper. I mean.
And so what we do is we'll take the actions, especially the man that we love or the woman you love or whomever you love and they hurt you. We'll take their actions to be a reflection of who we are. So we start doing stuff like, if I was better, if I was prettier, if I had more money, if I this or that, he wouldn't do that to me. They wouldn't do that to me. So then we start beating ourselves up because then it's like, well, what am I not providing? What am I not doing that makes, and while you're getting close to asking the right questions, it's not of them because it doesn't make sense for them to be honest with you, to get what if they're honest about who they are, they might not get what they want. So the question is, what's wrong? I'm sorry, I misspoke. Not wrong. What's going on with me? that I am allowing this to continue to happen in my life. Because when we talk about taking accountability for your actions, sometimes it's hard because, taking accountability for things that happen in your life, sometimes it's hard to accept because you're like, I didn't do this. I'm not the one who cheated. I'm not the one who did this. I'm not the one who lied. But when we say take accountability, when you realize that that's what this person does after that first time and it happens again,
right.
Take accountability for the fact that you allowed this to keep happening in your life by staying in that place. That's what we're talking about. Or that you accepted it, or that it was okay when you knew it wasn't okay for you. That's what we're talking about taking accountability for.
Yeah.
Period. So then she asked, so Christy, I wanted you to speak to this. So it sounds like they broke up for a second, and so now he's.
Oh, this is my favorite part. Go ahead and ask me.
Now he's coming back. He's like, let's get back together. So she's upset because they broke up, and 2 days later he had sex with somebody else. So and I stay.
That's such a guy thing, though.
But I would have done the same. Y'all was broke up. Like what the? I mean,
I would have done the same thing.
But I'm not making excuses for his behavior. It's just that that's not what the issue is. My issue is, and this is something we have to ask ourselves, and I want you to speak to this. If they were broken up, if she's truly trying to make this thing work, it's like, okay, you know what? We broke up for whatever reason. We don't know what the reason is, but based on what she's saying, I feel like there's some gaslighting, some toxicity, some little manipulation happening. They broke up. She finds out he has sex with somebody else. I'm sure he probably told her. Should that matter? If she really wants to be with him, if she's really trying to make it work, should it matter that after they broke 2 days after, 15 minutes after they broke up?
To be honest, I think it does matter.
Why do you think it matters? I mean, I don't know.
I honestly, all right, I have both sides. So one side for me, the reason why I feel like it should matter is because if you truly love someone, regardless of the situation, I guess, who broke up with who?
We don't have that.
Okay. So my thing is, if you truly love me, as you say you do, then even if we broke up, you're going to try to get us back instead of sleeping with someone else.
Okay. But see, here's my issue though.
But
that's under the presumption that sex and love are synonymous.
But that's another thing, because when you said 2 days later he slept with someone, I was like, that's such a guy thing, because guys can disconnect their emotions, and if they're broken up,
I think anybody can disconnect their emotions. I just think that women were told that we can't disconnect our emotions because
that's true, because the
patriarch didn't want us out here freely fucking like their asses.
I've done that before.
So
hopefully
that's what I think. But I think
I see both sides. So now,
right,
if I was in a situation where I was with someone and we broke up and they decided to sleep with someone during the time that we were broke up, I probably wouldn't trip. I would probably just go and sleep with someone else too.
I feel,
I mean, it's partly me wearing petty panties, but you want to, okay, I can do it too. Just don't get upset.
Why are petty panties so cute though? They should make petty panties
they're lace.
Ugly.
They are
it's
lace.
Like
they got
the best.
They got the little scallop trim.
Petty panties are the best. Okay.
No, I mean, I can put petty panties on the quick, Nick. So the thing is like, if you...
we should sell some petty panties. Y'all want the queens to sell some petty panties? Put your petty panties on,
girl,
ladies.
It is Thursday. Put your petty panties on. But no, I probably... You guys, I'm sorry, my dog. But I mean, I would probably do it because it's like, if you want to dish it out, then you should be able to take it too. So don't have any issue with me doing the same thing.
Christy got her petty panties on.
I sure do. I'm sorry, I got my petty panties on today, y'all.
But hear me out. Just let me get this out. Yeah, I want y'all to know. I fully understand and agree with her saying, but we have to. I'm a reporter today. I'm being objective, and I want to pull the other side of the story together. So.
Oh, maybe okay.
As long as we're focusing on what he's doing or what he's done, then I feel like that gives them control over how we feel, because I'm so worried about if you did it, then I'm gonna do it. So basically, you just gave that fool control over to make you do something. Because you know what I mean? Like, so the energy is like, I'm out here. I'm out here. I'm gonna go give my energy to somebody else because I'm so upset because that he did it and I don't deserve that. I was good to this fool and I did this and this and blah 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 blah. And how dare he? Now I'm gonna go do it. He's still controlling you.
I would still do it, and then we wouldn't get back together.
That's what I gotta say. I hate her so much. But think about it. If you're the point is you do want to release the power from somebody else to make you do something.
But she's also in a position where she knows that she doesn't need to be with him too.
Right, and she knows. She straight said that.
So, and I think that brings a different element and a different type of energy into this conversation. Like, if she realizes that he is not, like, we talked about this earlier, like, he is not for her highest good, and he's not... We appreciate your time and space.
But it's time to move on. Thank you for these lessons.
Right, thank you.
And these blessings that I've had in
lessons
this
and blessings is what he is.
Okay, but you know what? Okay, wait, hold on. Here's the thing, though. I feel like a piece of this was, you know how when you break up with somebody, and this is what I was curious about. You know, you break up with somebody because you know, like, I'm good. Like, I this is not good for me. But then you find out that there was someone right after you. That sometimes will make you feel like, okay, I need to give them a shot. Because it's like, you know how sometimes you don't want to be with somebody, but you don't want them to be with anybody else.
Yeah, I've been there. Not recently,
and I think a little bit of that was, because it's almost, and I'm going to tell you why I think this happens. We're going to keep it 100 tonight. I think a lot of that happens because it's like, I wasn't the fucked up person in the relationship. This is the mindset we'll have. Mm-hmm. You were the fuck up. You were the terrible person. You're the one who ruined this. We feel like whoever moves forward first wins. Because that means the other person was more fucked up. And why that's so damaging to us, because honestly, the person who moved forward first, the person that they went after this, is getting so much of a lesser person because they haven't taken that time to get to understand who the hell they are. How did I get in this place? I don't want that anymore. So when people take, to me, it's so the sexiest type of men, honestly, that I have met are men who have been through either they're, you know, if they're on the right or the wrong side of a relationship crumbling. And they've built themselves back up and took a beat to, like, those are some sexy ass men. These fuck boys that keep it moving and don't take a minute to, you know what I mean? So, but when we take that time to get to know ourselves, but what we're taught society is whoever moves forward first wins. And that wins for what? When you are morally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually bankrupt, you win because you brought somebody else into your spiritually bankrupt sphere. Congratulations. That's not a win. So, long story short, you guys, it doesn't... Be honest with yourself about why it is, especially if you've broken up with someone and you can identify that they're gaslighting me, they're toxic, this is a manipulation. You can identify all of those things, and for some reason why are you even trying to make it work? Try to figure out what it is, And this is where we have to hold ourselves accountable. You're like, wait, is this my ego? Ego? Oh, you about to have me dealing with this old toxic gaslight nasty motherfucker? Because, ooh, sometimes we have to be honest with ourselves about what the motivation is. Why are you making it work? Is it because you don't feel like you're worthy of something better, something that brings you happiness, something that is enlightening and lifting and brightening? Mm-hmm. That's an issue. Or could it be because your ego won't allow you to let go because you don't want to you don't want other
like
people
a failure
to think he won because he moves on. So no, so it's almost like I don't want you, I hate you, you're terrible, but I'll be good goddamn if somebody else is with you. Y'all, that's...
Oh, see, I haven't had that problem.
No, I'm like people,
but I know women
that's
do.
damaging to you. That's not doing anything.
Yeah.
It's like I hate you and myself so much that I will stop myself from advancing and moving forward and getting what I'm really worthy of just to make sure that you don't get it. Ooh, baby, that's some deep shit right there.
Can you say that again? That was...
Like, facts. You, like, seriously. You have, like, for real? That's... I will...
That's deep.
I will render myself unsuccessful. I will render myself unable to move forward just so you can. Like, that is self-sabotage on a whole nother level.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, especially when you can identify, this is terrible for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, why am I self-sabotaging myself? That gets back to that worthiness.
Yeah, I agree because, you know, part of me, or part of my leaving with it taking such a long time for me to leave, one of the things that really helped me was to think to myself, if this was something that I could do for another 2 years, another 3 years, another 5 years, I'm not trying to be chasing down little girlfriends he had on the side. Like, well, how did you guys meet? And and he was picking you up in my car, and you know
no ma'am,
he broke my phone because I was, you know, whatever the case may be.
No,
I was at a point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. You can have him. I don't care. He is now your problem.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you for taking him off my hands. Hopefully he'll stop calling me. But truth be told, I mean, this is a sensitive topic and I don't want to sound like I'm making light of it. I have been there. So for the queen who DM'd us, know your worth. Believe you are worthy for better.
Come on.
And for more. And start visualizing and seeing the life and the relationship
that you want.
Yeah,
that you desire.
And that you're worthy of having.
Come on. Literally. I'm going to tell you something. When I think about, especially when we come from an intention of pure love for ourselves, and we're creating what we desire, I truly feel like if the desire comes up in you, like, this is how I want to feel, and even if you have not seen anybody have this type of love, this type of abundance, it doesn't matter. If it is a part of who you are and it's in your design to desire it, you deserve it.
Yep.
And so believe you're worthy of it. So, girl, you got the queen. I mean.
And I do believe that our hurt.
If it was legal for us to go drop squad, I could,
Right. Send us his address.
Make him disappear for a couple of days.
We'll do a drive-by real quick. But yeah, I think it is important to know your worth. It's not going to be easy.
No.
But also realize that, especially healers, when we find ourselves in this position, it is eventually to move us into a situation where we have no choice but to rely on ourselves and get back to self, and then help other people do the same.
Actual facts.
I do believe that oftentimes, actually all the time, our hurt is to help others to heal. So
I said what I said, and she meant what she said.
Stay strong, queen. You deserve much more. But we are at like an hour and 30.
Oh, you a lie. Ooh, the devil is a lie.
Hour and
Christie,
28
we have
minutes.
not been talking that. Damn.
We didn't use discernment. Now let me stop.
Dang.
Yeah.
I feel like they're in church right now. You know, it's 11:45 and the game come on at 12, and they looking like, if you don't shoot, you don't want. Okay, now we heard you.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry, the go back home music is about to start playing.
Okay.
Soon, so.
So I'm just gonna give you guys I'm not gonna do a message, but we're gonna do a journal prompt for you for your temple work. In this journey, you know, we really, one of our biggest questions or inquiries about finding purpose and understanding what we're here for. So what I want you to journal about this week and take some time to reflect is what gives your life meaning today. Like literally at this moment today in your life, what gives your life meaning. And I'm urging you to not be judgmental about what you think something should give. You know what I mean? It's like, it can't be, you know, the fact that my satin pillow is saving my edges. Like, I feel like that gives my life meaning today. Don't judge yourself for that. Wherever you are, if it's your mommy and you're like, my child is giving my life, like, be honest with yourself about. Christy, I'm gonna spare her wine now. I'm over here trying to be inclusive. Don't be hating on people's edges.
I have a satin pillowcase. Look, I got a satin pillowcase.
If the satin pillow is saving edges, and that's what's giving a bitch life today, baby.
That is okay. I got a satin pillowcase in 12 and on 4, so it's fine.
I'm just saying. And then take it a step further. So you can have a little fun on what gives your life meaning today, and then take it a step further and start contemplating what makes you feel purposeful. Like, what do you there even if you feel like I don't know my purpose, but there are moments. I don't care if it's I have a bird feeder in my backyard, and I know that I am feeding all the birds in this neighborhood and they depend on me. That makes me feel like I'm a part of the cycle of life. Like, truly think about what it is, how no matter how minute, how large it is, how grand it is, whether you're feeding the homeless or simply having a bird bath in your backyard, what makes you feel like you are connected to the all? And the reason we ask you to reflect on these type of things, you guys, is because that emits a feeling in your body. And when you start to think about this and feel this and reflect on these beautiful things that you are putting out in the earth, guess what happens? Universal energy match. Bam. Because see, what happens is, and this is why I don't watch, one of the reasons I don't watch, you know, the news like that anymore, is because energetically, the universe does not know if you are experiencing violence, if you are emitting the violence, or if you're just watching a video of violence. Well, what it will do is give you that energy match. So because I understand how energy match works, I'm very careful about the energy that I take in. Because if it's some negative stuff, I don't want to match that. I'm like, nope. What? Bing bang, bob and weave. I'm over here bobbing and weaving with this damn negative energy. Like, right? You stupid. But connecting back with yourself at moments where you feel purposeful and connected to the all and connected to the one, where you feel like you have, like where it feels good and you have meaning, you're bringing more of that to you. So it helps to highlight your path a little bit more in your journey. So hopefully that'll be helpful. All right, that's a temple work. We out of here, y'all.
That's some good stuff, you guys. I hope you all are doing your temple work.
Yes,
and not
getting
just
those
listening.
Journals.
Because I know if I was listening, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'm doing it.
Lying.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm bad with writing. Me already knows. But I've gotten better. I've gotten better with journaling. I usually, whenever I meditate, I have a journal. I bring a journal with me because sometimes these downloads come
right,
through.
Man.
It's like
it doesn't have to be all beautiful and coherent.
No.
This is for you because we'll forget. I'm telling you. I have a meditation 2 days ago. Take some notes afterwards and go back and read it. Be like, damn, I forgot already. Like, for real.
I do find that the channeled messages come through. I forget. I forget.
Yeah.
I forget. All right. Thank you all for spending all of this wonderful time with us. That's an hour and 34 minutes.
What? These people crazy.
Thank you all for listening to Two Queens and Crystal Things.
We love you guys.
Yes, we do. And thank you for loving us back with us drinking and chatting and laughing and cackling.
First of all, I don't drink.
Lies. She finished a whole bottle by herself. No, I'm joking.
Oh my gosh.
I helped her. Brantley is on some stuff. But before we go, please show us some love. Leave us a review on whatever platform you're listening to the podcast
Share it with your
on.
friends.
Share it with your friends.
You know what? We should make a rule now. When you start to listen to us, you guys, if we get on, if you can. Sometimes I know a lot of, because people will hit us like, when I'm cleaning, on my Saturday, or if I'm sitting, more not there on the way to work, they'll have us on. But if you can, grab a glass of wine with us.
Yes.
When you sit down, get the bottle out, put your earbuds on.
Maybe not during the work day.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. When you can,
unless it's in a mug.
Oh my God. Wait, pause, time out. Sorry, y'all. Did you see?
I did that.
Oh my Christie, I did not see that. Baby, she was like stirring the cup. I cackled. I was like, oh my God.
I did that.
So, whatever, but I'm just saying, sometimes have a glass of wine with us, you guys. Kings and queens, just sit down, have a glass of wine, cackle with us.
They're not going to know.
We are growing and learning together.
Yes, we are.
And so that would be fun. You know what? Ooh, we should do a live and invite everybody to do. Oh, I got.
We should.
We should do a live for our episode.
We absolutely should.
Okay, guys. Well, if you have any questions for us, we like to chit chat. Please make sure send them over, you guys.
Yes.
We really enjoy it, and we'll let you know if we talk about what you sent us.
Yep.
So please do send us, DM us at on IG at Two Queens Crystal Things.
Yep.
Sorry.
And don't forget to follow us on our personal pages on Instagram.
Please.
You guys know I hype Mia up. I don't have to hype her up because her work speaks for itself. She's honestly...
Ow.
No, seriously, she's one of the best readers I've gone to, and she also does Akashic Record readings, Reiki, sound healing, and Dragonfly, which you may have to get trademarked.
I know, right?
But you can follow her, or she can be found at Wings Unleashed 444, so please follow her on her page.
And you guys, go check out my girl
Booyah.
at Christie or Edwards. Christie's so good about sharing. She's like, it's so funny because you just said it in an episode. She's always believed in sharing her day-to-day life. I'm getting better at it, you guys. I am, because I'm naturally paranoid from the South Side. I can't help it. But so please follow Christie on her page.
I appreciate
and you will see Brantley on there, and then make sure that you support and follow her business.
Yes,
at Sage House Apothecary.
Yes.
Apothecary.
Apothecary.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Apothecary.
What did I just say? Apothecary.
I don't know. You know how
it didn't sound.
people...
Oh.
You know how we like to.
That gummy just kicked in. Okay, I'm done, guys. Go follow her stuff. She has some beautiful stuff, you guys. We love you.
Love you guys. Light, peace,
and
love.
send us some notes. Talk to you later. Night night.
Bye.